Okay. Hey, look at us. We finally we finally did it. Um, okay. Let me see if I can get this going. Oh, Cameron, we got it figured out. Okay, so our favorite topic of the day, social media. I'm actually going to bring this right here too. My notes.
So it's okay that I'm sitting here on Facebook.
Right, yeah. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Courtney Nielsen. I have been a realtor since 22. I've been at KW since 2012. Been at KW since 2019 or 2020, somewhere around there. And I use a lot of social media in my business. So we're going to talk about how to do all of these things, build visibility, credibility, and conversion using social media, and why social media is important, and how do we do this? How do we use social media as realtors? So first, let's talk about the mindset of our modern consumer. And actually, let's back up a little bit and let's first just talk about like just social media in general. Who uses it? What platforms are you on? Go. Okay, so we got change this. So the one that you're using are Instagram, and tell me your name. Shoot. Instagram. Okay, we got TikTok. We got what else? Facebook. Guys, what do you use?
Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. What about you?
I'm using Facebook. I have used LinkedIn in the past. I'm trying to figure out Instagram. This started.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, so these are the ones you use mostly. What are some other platforms that a lot of people are on? Do you think of any?
YouTube. I have a bunch of YouTube.
Definitely. That's considered social media. What else?
Pinterest.
Yep.
Tried that in the past. This one, yeah. Get there.
You're not a Pinterest pal? Pinterest
I
guy?
am with another business.
But not okay, so you understand the mechanics of it and how it works, yeah. Okay.
Probably the only music technology education curriculum designer on Pinterest.
Well, cool. Okay, another one that maybe isn't like in your face, I would add on like an e-newsletter is another way that we can be socially connected, right?
Yeah, there's Blogger and Threads and
Yeah.
X.
Blog,
Quickly.
Threads, what?
X.
Oh yeah. X. That's a pretty good. Okay. So, for me and my business, oh, you can also do like podcasts, right? Yeah. And then I just bring that up because for me and my business, I use several of these, but we're going to talk about as a new agent, you don't have to do everything all at once. We just usually just start with one. and build from there, right? For me, I'm in a different place in my business. So now I'm utilizing more of the different platforms. So I do have a podcast, although I haven't done any episodes for a while. It's time for 2026 to add some new podcasts. And I have an e-newsletter. I haven't really been using Pinterest, but I do have a Pinterest page for my business. That's something I want to add on this next year. I don't really use LinkedIn, but my husband does, and he and I work together. So he's always posting on LinkedIn. I don't know. I feel like that's someplace where like the guys go. It's the business. But guess what?
Or
That's
people,
but that's where people, the more I think about it, I'm like, I probably should get on there because these people are professionals and professionals need homes to live in, right? Or they're relocating maybe to Utah. How can we get in on that? So that's one that like my husband used. I definitely use Facebook and I definitely use Instagram, kind of use TikTok. I am like not good at it. But mostly the reason I use TikTok is because I go to use their camera stuff and then I download my video and then I go to Reels and I post it there. So anyway, mostly I'm Instagram. This is like where I do everything. I started my podcast not as like I'm not interested in being like a Joe Rogan, like having a bajillion followers. That's not the goal behind my podcast. For me, I do better with like longer content and then I use that longer content to break it up into smaller bits and then put them across these other platforms. So that's the reason for my podcast. If you're like, no, I do better with short form videos and different things, then a podcast is probably not for you, right? For me, I am a former teacher. I used to teach high school English. And so to get up and or sit down with somebody and talk for an hour and then go through and find the bits that are good, that's like what I like to do. But sitting down and like doing like just creating short videos is like, I don't know why that's so hard for me, but it is.
got an ELA endorsement.
Oh, yeah.
English with it.
Oh yeah, you do, huh? Well,
I
that's
know.
cool. I've taught all the grades except for, let's see, I taught seventh, eighth. I taught all the grades. Mostly I taught ninth and 12th grade.
I only officially taught college, but I subbed a
Oh.
lot.
Nice. Yeah. I did teach at Salt Lake Community College. Um, oh, wait, what is going on here? Why is it telling me? What? I lost it. Um, the meeting is being recorded. Don't you go to this button up here to share? Screen mirroring, display music, airdrop. Where's the air play? Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know what just happened, but okay. So for you today, you just need to start thinking about, okay, where do I want to be? Where are a lot of my friends at? And I'm going to preach for a second. I don't personally believe that you have to have a bajillion followers in order to have a successful business. My Instagram page, I really don't have that many followers in the whole grand scheme of things. I mean, I have like 2,000 followers. But my followers are people who know me, like me, and trust me. They are my sphere. And so there might be a few people who kind of know me, but most of the people who are following me are actual people who I have come across and ran into in person. That is what matters, right? So don't get caught up in, I don't have 10,000 followers. I mean, would I like to have 10,000 followers on Instagram? Yes, because that would unlock some features for me. But it's okay. I still get what I need out of my Instagram. Okay. Some people ask, do I need to have personal profile, business profile, all the things, right? I will say that there is a benefit to having maybe like an influencer profile on your Instagram, and that's because it unlocks some business metrics that are helpful in tracking like what posts work, and it also unlocks like some of the music too. And so if you don't have an influencer profile, I would go and change that on your personal. Okay, so let's get into why social media matters. So, why do we think social media matters today in this generation? New world. We spend a lot of time on it. Yeah, that's a good one.
Majority of people find their houses and realtors online.
Yeah. So, spend lots of time. Lots of people are online, and realtors are found online. Okay. For me, or somewhere in some of the notes or things that I was reading, it talked about how basically your Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform you're using is like your storefront. That's where, people could walk into our office, but this is like your little storefront office where people come across and see you. So the importance of social media is really to stay top of mind. Now, do we want to convert leads? Absolutely. But the biggest thing is staying top of mind, especially if you're like me and most of your followers are the people that you know. Okay. I don't have to do a lot of print marketing or things that cost me a lot of money to send out because I'm trying to utilize some of the free things that are available to me that everybody is using. So, first off, if you're not doing anything, I would at least start a newsletter. That's free. You can do that through command. We have a newsletter feature where you can send out so many emails a month. I think it's like a minimum of like 5,000. That's a lot of emails. And I doubt any of us have a database 5,000 or more. Most of us, like I would even say, if I looked at my database, and I might have a pretty long email newsletter database, right? But of those people, how many are like my real people who are going to refer me, use me? The number is much smaller, right? So social media matters because today's consumer decision making is digital first. So our clients research agents long before they even call you. Social presence is social proof. So if you're not online, then people are like sus. You're sus if you're not online. They want to know who you are. They want to see that you're active somewhere, right? So if they Google you and you don't come up somewhere, they're going to be like, why aren't they there? So consistency equals familiarity equals trust. So it doesn't mean that you have to post every day on Instagram. You just need to come up with a system that works for you. I know a lot of times it's very overwhelming for some people to post, and especially when they think, I have to post every day. You don't have to post every day. I mean, obviously, there's ways to increase your visibility, increase your following and stuff. And in that case, you probably do want to post a bunch, right? But if you're just trying to reach those people within your database who already follow you, then consistency is what matters. And your Instagram, like it said, is your storefront. So I want you to think about, instead of the idea here is, okay, we need to post online, but I want you to get out of the mindset of, I need to post. Okay. The best plan is like to have a plan. Why am I posting? What am I posting? And like, what's the messaging that I want to get out there? So that kind of goes back to like, what's your brand? Why are you in real estate? And Who is your client? Who is your customer that you're wanting to serve? Those are things that we need to look at. So, you want to shift the idea of posting to post. You want to shift that to how can I create these markers? So, visibility. How do I create visibility? Credibility. And conversion. Visibility, credibility, and conversion. So I need to be visible out there. People need to know who I am. How can I show that I'm credible, that I know what I'm doing, that I'm educated, I have experience, that I can help you with one of the biggest financial decisions of your life? And then I'll most likely convert, but there is a skill to converting, right? Okay. So I know you hear the term farming, right? You've heard that probably a lot in some of the classes, farming, and there is an actual technique of farming a specific neighborhood and going out and delivering flyers and doing the whole thing like every month, being consistent with a specific neighborhood. Your social media is like farming, but you're like, you're farming everywhere. You're looking for that one, I guess, gold mine out there, right? Who's gonna be a low-hanging fruit. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about your brand for a second. What it does for you, creates recognition, trust, proof, referrals, and conversion. So it's important. Let's do this. All right. So what I want you to do on a piece of paper is I want you to write down, who do I help? What type of buyer or seller am I looking? Am I looking at a first-time home buyer? Am I looking at a luxury buyer? Am I helping, like, who is my ideal client? Who do you want to help buy real estate or sell real estate? So write that. You don't have to write in this line yet, but just brainstorm some options and then you can come up with your brand in one sentence. So who do you help? Buyers, move-ups, investors, downsizers? You're going for what demographic? Okay. And where do you help them? So for me, I live in Saratoga Springs. And so a lot of the people who I help live in Saratoga, Eagle Mountain, because I lived in Eagle Mountain for 10 years, Lehigh. I am not limited to those areas, but that is where a majority, if I were to pull up like a map and I put a pin for all the houses that I sold, majority of the pins would be right there in Eagle Mountain, Saratoga, Lehigh. That is where I'm like an expert in. Do I know other areas? Yes. But that is where a lot of people that I know are, people like me, know me, trust me already there. So I do a lot of business right there. I will go as far as like I've gone clear up to Logan and all the way down to St. George. Is that the ideal? No. Ideal is to sell a house right in my neighborhood, right? So for me, I would even say if I'm not going to say Saratoga, Eagle Mountain, Lehigh, I could even say like Northern Utah County is where I mostly serve. Okay. What do you believe about real estate? So what is your purpose as a real estate agent? What do you believe about it for you? Why did you get into real estate? This matters because it really does help you to come up with your brand. And then, what are some of your differentiators? So what makes you different than me? Every single one of us is unique, and there are certain people who are going to be drawn to you. I could be the show up in my best version of myself as a real estate agent, and still not get the lead or, be able to convert a lead if they are drawn to you. And there are people who are meant to do business with you, and me. Okay, so that's maybe to help you in the future when when you're competing with somebody and you're like really get hung up on that or sad about it or mad or whatever. Just be like, it's okay. Like they're meant to work with that person. I get the next one. So if we have that prosperity mindset that we're not in scarcity, that there's enough business for all of us, you'll do well. Okay. So what is that differentiator for you? Are you an educator agent? Like, is that like a big thing that you do? You sit down and you do tons of education with buyers or sellers. Like that really sets you apart. You really are very thorough. Are you a numbers person? So you're really like good at speaking the logic language. Are you a community connector? Are you a new construction specialist? Are you like what sets you apart? Okay, so take a minute and come up with your brand in a sentence. I help who in what city buy and sell real estate by what do you do to help them? Maybe like what is the thing that motivates you to sell to help people in real estate? Like what makes you different? Write a sentence. You'll need this later because when you plug it into AI, it will help you create a marketing plan based off of who you help, and I will show you mine in a little bit. Okay. So when we're talking about our brand, a lot of people immediately go to, oh, I got it. Like, what's my logo? What's my colors? What's my font? And those are important, but the real brand, the root of branding is this. Who are you? Why are you in real estate? And who are you helping? Okay. What message do you want to put out into the world as a real estate agent? And then the colors and the logo and the things come, right? The brand visuals. Okay, so your one sentence. All right. So kind of going back to what I was already talking about, what makes people choose you? People are automatically drawn to you for certain reasons. It could be your personality. It could be your values. So that could be one of the reasons why you're selling real estate is like, what are your values? What is important to you in selling real estate? What's your market knowledge? What's the process knowledge? Do you know actually how to take somebody through beginning to end? What's your specialty or niche? What's your communication style? And what kind of problem solving ability? So people look for these different traits in you when they are looking for a real estate agent. Now you might not have all of them, and maybe like some people, if you like know the different personality traits of people, like there's so many different, there's a blue, there's the colors, and then there's like the Enneagram, and then there's this, right? If you understand what those different personality types are and how to talk to those different personality traits, that will help you go a long way in your communication styles, how you approach, right? Your conversations and communication with certain people. But sometimes we're just naturally drawn to a certain type of personality, and that's great. That's who you should work with, right? Okay, so again, just to really drive this in, this is your social identity or your brand. Who do you help? Where do you help? And why? Why you? And then the last thing, what do we do next? Oh, I forgot my parentheses, my close. CTA, what does CTA stand for? Does anybody know? Call to action. So in anything we do on social media, we want to try to at least show something and always end with a call to action on all of our marketing, most of our marketing. Okay, so let's look at our Instagram profiles. So when we're setting that up, The first thing that you'll want to do is you want to make sure that you have your name for Instagram. It can be your name. It can be like so I know somebody who's called like the high-heeled realtor, the tattooed realtor, the, you know, however you want to like brand yourself. I personally believe that my brand is me. Courtney Nielsen. That is me in real estate, right? People are hiring me because of me. And there might be some fun characteristics about me, things that I love and that people follow about me and know about me. Like most of my sphere knows I love Paris, France. I did study abroad there, went there as a teenager. I've been back multiple times. I've taken groups. I love Paris. If I could live anywhere besides Utah, I would live there. I'm not even kidding. When I get there, I like have new life. Okay, they also know that I have a family and my family is important to me. Do I post a ton about my family? No. But they do know that I have a family and I am posting them occasionally, especially in my stories. I rarely post anything in my board about my family, but in my stories, you'll see my family pop up a lot. Okay. They also know that I love to cook and bake. So I love to bake sourdough bread. I do that at least every week. And so I'm baking that. I love to cook Sunday dinner. I'm very busy during the week and I sadly I'm not like we don't sit down every day, but Sunday is a day where the kids come home. I have 3 young adult kids and one still at home. So they come home and we have a Sunday dinner where we sit down and we gather, right? So that's super important to me and I will share that on my stories. So, people know that about me. What are some other things? Oh, I'm also into fitness. I teach hot Pilates and yoga. So I'm posting about that in my stories. Do I ever post that in my board? Rarely, if ever. And right now you would not see it because I probably hidden it. So maybe at one time I'll like put it up, but then I'll like hide it later, right? Because I got to keep the aesthetic. So, so okay, so for me, my real estate handle is real Courtney Nielsen, only because Courtney Nielsen was taken. So I was like, how can I like, I've had many throughout the years. When I first got started in real estate, it was like Utah Real Estate Girl. And then I decided I didn't like using girl because I felt like, wait, I'm a woman, I'm a businesswoman, I'm not a little girl. So I had to change that. And then it was like Utah Real Estate Boss, and I was like, ooh, that's too in your face. No. Then I changed it to just our real estate group, which is Nielsen Property Group, which was great. And that is our brand. But truly, the people hire me not because of Nielsen Property Group, because of me. So that's why I went back to that and was able to find one that worked. So real, Courtney Nielsen. And then bio example, this is not my bio, but you need to put in there where, you need to make sure that people know where you're doing real estate. So helping Utah County buyers level up confidently, a market strategist, new construction specialist. So those are things that you could put as like, what is your niche? And then you need a call to action. So for me personally, mine is, so I have Utah Realtor Align and Courtney Nielsen. Then I have helping you buy, sell, or invest in real estate, a 5-time Salt Lake top 500 realtor, top 100 real producer, host of the Real Deal podcast, search homes now. And then I have my links. So you can do however you want to make that and set that apart for you. So something, if you haven't already done a profile, you want to work on that. And for me, I realized that everything I do, nothing is ever set in stone. We're all growing, we're developing, we're learning. So this is a dynamic profile, right? Meaning that it can change at any time. So that's okay. Give yourself permission to constantly be changing and adjusting and making things better. So, okay, so let's talk about content that works. Okay, you don't need to follow the crazy trends. Like I know that there's popular things to do where you see people doing crazy weird things, right? You can do that if that is your personality and you're like, I love to dance and I want to do funny dances and all that, do the TikTok dances. You want to do that? Great, do it if that's you. If you wanted to be like wild and crazy and I don't know, like do these things just to get people to follow you, do it if that's you. Okay. But for me, I'm more about when people come to my Instagram, yeah, I want them to see that, hey, I'm a fun person, but I also want them to come away with, hey, I'm a trusted advisor. I'm someone that can help you. I'm going to guide you along this process. We're going to have fun while we do it. And that I'm skilled at what I do. I'm a skilled negotiator, and I'll show some proof, right? Social proof of that through testimonials and storytelling. So for me, I'm more of a storyteller type person, but that's me, right? I come from an English teacher background, so storytelling is important to me. And I think that that helps connect with people. And so that's for me. So you don't need to be someone who you're not. You just need clarity in who you are and what do you want when people come to your page, what do you want them to come away with? If you're just doing things for, I think, if you're just doing things for, I guess, what's your purpose? Like, are you doing, if you're going to do the funny videos and the whatevers, is that just to get people to come and, follow, like to get more people, more exposure? Okay, maybe that's the right way to go. But if you really want people to like convert, then I think there has to be like more meat to it. Do you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying here? Hi. Oh, and also, we're not just posting homes. That's very boring. Nobody cares. I mean, they do. They want to know what's in the market and they want to see that you're doing real estate, but they don't want to see that every post, right? Um, okay. So also, when you're setting up your Instagram, you want to think of content pillars. So if we go back to this idea, if content must position you as a guide, a trusted advisor, a skilled strategist, well, then let's look at 5 content pillars that you want to focus on as part of your Instagram strategy. So these are just 5 that I, gave examples of, but you can come up with your 5 content pillars. So I actually learned this. I've learned it in a few different places, but I was listening to a podcast episode from one of my friends who has a marketing podcast, and she had a social media expert on there, and they talked about this content pillars, and I was like, what? I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then I have done some marketing training with a few different influencer people who are like marketing queens and kings, right? So one lady, her name is Jenna Kutcher, and I did a course on Instagram from her, and she had a similar concept of the 5 content pillars. So if you, I kind of like the visuals too, instead of just the bullets, but so you have 5, and you could even like visually, this could be like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday post, right? And just consistently, week after week, you're posting something about education here, some kind of social proof, testimonial here on Tuesday, a lifestyle, behind the scenes, and maybe your listings are active business. Okay, so this could be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or if you're like 5 posts a week is way too much for me, then that's okay. Okay, well, let's create maybe a monthly calendar and think of ways how you can, use these same content pillars throughout the month, but maybe do 3 times a week or 2 times a week or whatever it is. Just be consistent at whatever it is, right? So come up with your own content pillars. Who are you? What do you want to share? What are your values? Why are we doing real estate? All of that. Oh, I forgot on our board, and I actually do not have this. So this was a good reminder to me that I need to go back and do this. So on your Instagram profile, you have the ability to have 3 pinned posts at the top. I don't have mine pinned right now, so I need to go do that. You have the ability to have 3 pinned posts right here at the top. And so one of them should definitely be about like who you are, like an introduction of who you are. Maybe it could be an active listing that you have. Maybe it could be like, I don't know, just find 3 of your favorite posts that seem to have they've gotten the most traction maybe, and you can track that through your business. So if you have I told you the business or the influencer one, there's a click button here, professional dashboard, and you can click on that, and then it will show you all your posts, and you can see like what ones performed the best. But sometimes maybe not all the posts that performed the best should not be the ones that are pinned. Like one definitely should be about who you are and, like kind of like an introduction one. But anyway, think about adding those 3 pinned posts. Okay. All right. So your weekly posting rhythm, we kind of talked about this already. You could be every day. You could be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. You could be just a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. You could just do 2 days, whatever it is, just follow it. Okay. Okay, so why posting matters even without listings. So if you're a new agent and you might not have listings, that's okay. What is important for you, or things that you can post today, are things about neighborhoods, like places where you live or where you want to work. Okay, so I had a new agent who I was mentoring, and she lives in Eagle Mountain, but she grew up in Riverton and her husband grew up in Provo. Okay, she grew up in the same neighborhood her entire life before she moved away and went to college. That means that whole neighborhood where she went to church and school and all things, those people know her. They already know her, like her, and trust her. Same for her husband who grew up in Provo, right? They know him, like him, trust him already. If somebody's like, oh, so-and-so, you're in real estate, then it's just naturally, I should be farming that neighborhood. That should be one neighborhood. Now, if you're not from Utah, which I was not from Utah, so that was tricky for me. I had to just start where I lived, right? She lives in Eagle Mountain, and her specific community is a perfect place for her to farm as well, right? So doing some neighborhood spotlights on those different areas could show, hey, like I'm a market expert in Eagle Mountain. I also know Riverton Harriman. I also know Provo Orem, right? Great ways to do that. How pre-approvals work, what inspections cost, any kind of educational thing, some checklists for people, day in the life of an agent content, client stories if you have any and if they're appropriate to share, testimonials, why you became an agent. There's so many things that you could post about, and you could ask AI to help you. Hey, help me come up as a new agent. What are some things that I could post about that will show, what are the things that we wanted to talk? Visibility. What was the other one? Credibility, and how I can convert. Okay. Put that into AI. So you don't need active clients to serve value. One of your posts, a weekly post, if you're a new agent and you're like, how could I do this? Something that social media, when I was just starting out as a real estate agent, was kind of new, right? So I kind of wish, like if I were starting over again, something that I would have done is I would have done like a weekly listing spotlight. If I don't have a one, that's fine. You have how many agents in this office who you can post because you're an agent in this office. Now, definitely you should talk to the agent first and say, hey, I'm thinking about posting this. Is this okay? Yes. Okay. If they're outside the office, you have to get permission. Inside the office, Dean is the broker and he has all the listings, and which means that we can market those. Okay. So, hi, what's up? You're bringing me markers?
Yeah, they might.
Somebody must have told you that the markers sucked.
They do. They do.
Okay. So, thank you. So there's ways that you can do it in stories. Okay, you do have to be careful though. If you were out, like, I wish another thing that I would have done is I would have toured homes in a commute in like the area where I wanted to serve people. And I would have just gotten familiar with that community and the listings that are out there so that I understand pricing. I understand like, oh, and I would look at them and track them and see, okay, this one on the market, this one's been sitting a long time, this one's sold in so many. Why? What's the difference? And then I wouldn't like tell addresses or whatever, use people's pictures without permission, but I could take that content and figure out a way how I could portray that, right? In my own way. So there's so many things that you could do as a new agent, I think, that could start creating credibility. And volunteering to sign up and do open houses for people, that's another way. It doesn't matter if it's your listing or not. If you are posting about hosting an open house, people automatically think, dang, she's got a listing already. He's got a listing. Cool. Look at them work, And then they're like, oh, I want to call that person. I want to, even if you've never had a listing before, but you have been doing open houses and you post about it consistently, people see that. People are watching you, whether you believe it or not, they are. Okay, so reel strategies. So if you're creating a reel, I would think in any type of marketing content on Instagram or TikTok or any, you need a hook, okay? Something that's going to catch the attention of whoever is scrolling, and you need to then provide value in that post somewhere, whether that's in the caption or what. And then you need a call to action. You need some kind of engagement too, which part of the call to action can create engagement if you're doing like, if you're doing something like comment Saratoga for the listing details. All right. So then people will engage and comment Saratoga, right? Or click on my bio, click on my bio, click on the property link in my bio or whatever, and then people will go to your bio and they'll click on it, because that's important, having the people who are following you actually engage and show that they're interested in doing something with your post. And if they're sharing it, if they're commenting on it, if they're hearting it, or if they're even just following what you ask them to do, like using your storefront, if they're using it and they're going to your bio and they're actually clicking on the links, or we're going to talk about something later, hooks. Wait, no, we'll get there. We'll come to it. Okay, so hooks that stop the scroll. Okay, 3 mistakes sellers make when pricing. Wait to buy until you know this. How we got a buyer 15,000 equity at closing. And I like to put that on, on the reel as text somewhere, so that, you've seen this on where you're like, you stop because you're like, oh, well, what are 3 mistakes? And then that should be in your caption somewhere. That's the value that you're providing, right? And then below that, you're going to have some kind of call to action. Okay, hook is attention. You want people to stop the scroll. And we don't have very much time to attract somebody's attention. No, people like, I think it used to be, right? Like the average human had like an average of 7 seconds or something. Now it's down to like, I don't even know. Is it even a 1 second? I don't even know. I don't even know. Okay. So if we're doing like an educational, post, what are some examples of things that we could post about? What earnest money is, why appraisals matter, inspection timelines, seller net sheets. What is this? Your job is to translate real estate language into human language. Okay. We don't want to talk in jargon. We want to humanize it so that a 5th grader can understand you. And make it fun and interesting. Okay. A proof post. So this would be like a testimonial, or you could say, I recently had, that did not come out right. I recently sold a home in Saratoga Springs that was listed at $714 and we sold it for $730. So that would be one that I could put on my Tuesdays for testimonials days, because that's what I do on Tuesdays, is have some kind of social proof. Sold over asking, sold $16,000 over asking. And then I can put in the caption how I did that, what I did. Really, the way that we bumped it up was because they were asking for closing costs. And so rather than have the seller pay for those closing costs, we tacked it onto the price. I knew that we could do that because the comps for that neighborhood showed that they could probably sell for their home for $750, but because of the market that we're in, it's weird. Everything's going for less, it seems like. We had reduced it and then we tacked that on knowing that the appraisal would probably come in fine. Now, I wouldn't do that with every listing, right? I could do it with another house that I just sold in Provo where they were asking 500. We got, I could say, asked, or I don't know, I have to think about the hook for that. But they were asking 500 and we got it under contract and sold for 485 with $15,000 in closing costs. So that shows, hey, she's good at negotiating. Hey, she not only got them less in purchase price, but she got them 15,000 or 16,000 actually, $16,000 in closing costs. And we got a new roof. I could add that on, which was another 10K, right? So there's things that you can do to add that social proof to show that you're an expert in real estate. Now, if you don't have a social proof yet, that's okay. Use someone else's story in the office. Ask, hey, can I post about this? You know, or there's other. Yeah, our team did this. Excellent. Yes, our team did this. Then it shows because we're a team here. All 350 agents here, we're a team. Everybody here is here to help you succeed. And we want you to. So that is what I love about the culture of KW is that teamwork mentality. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, another thing is lifestyle examples. Okay, I know an agent who's down in Spanish Fork, and she does a lot of this. She is like the Spanish Fork expert. She touts herself as that, and she is. So she even goes to the city meetings and she'll post about like what happened there. She'll do a whole thing. And she'll talk about like new roads that are opening, a Costco that's coming, and da 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 da. So people know where to go in Spanish Fork, you know? So you can do something like that. Anyway, there's lots of things you can do with lifestyle and expertise. And with lifestyle and expertise, I think this is where you can actually show you too. Like you could actually show what you're into in lifestyle. Like me, I'm into fitness, bread, family, travel, da, da, da. I could post about that on that day, but tie it into real estate somehow. Okay. Instagram story strategy. Okay. So Instagram stories are so important. This is where you show up every day as top of mind. And this is your face to the camera, behind the scenes, something personal. This is where you can do engagement stickers. That's the thing that I was thinking about earlier. So in your story, engagement stickers. So whatever you're posting in your story, somewhere in there, at least weekly, if not daily or every other day, have a poll, have some kind of slider where they have to like do something, you know. Q&A box, a link, or the sliders, this thing that, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's like a scale of 1 to 10 or whatever, and you slide it. Okay, a Q&A box, a link button, something in here to get them to do something, because the more people that engage through your stories actually helps you with the algorithm. And it's real, I don't understand. Nobody understands the algorithm, but we try to understand the algorithm. But this, I do know, helps with getting more visibility through all, because you know how the algorithm works. Your information does not pop up to everybody who follows you, which is so buggy. So you got to get people to engage so that it will show up. Okay, so like, do you like this style or this style? Or what do you think realistic? Or let's see, you could have a poll, new listing coming out, guess the price, guess the listing price, and then have something in there like a Q&A box or something where they could put in so many things. On the link button, I will post the listing and then I'll have the link. Check out the full listing details here. Boom, you know, get people to do something, take action. Okay, the conversion. So never just say, let me know if you need anything. Okay. You've got to put yourself in doing something actionable. That's not let me know if you need anything. Like even at home with your neighborhood or your friend who's sick or whatever, it's never let me know if you need anything because they will never, ever, ever, ever call you. You say, hey, can I bring you a meal tomorrow? Yes. Or sorry, not tomorrow, but I'd love it on Wednesday. You know, same idea with selling real estate. Click bio link, comment save for a checklist, DM value, blah. I don't know. There's so many different ways that you can ask, and you can ask AI for any of this. Hook suggestions, captions, conversion strategies, so many things. Call to actions. Usually when I'm asking AI to help me with a post, I ask for all three of those things to. And I also am like, I don't want to be over the top salesy, gaggy. So come up with something that's like not like more empathetic and like real, authentic, warm sales strategy. Okay. So how to turn comments into conversations. Somebody says, that kitchen's amazing. You're like, oh, thanks. I know. Are you thinking about, start a question there. Like get them to start a conversation, basically. It doesn't have to be that, but start a conversation, essentially. Okay, AI integration. So you can use it for just about anything. Hooks, captions, market explanations, email touch points, reframing language. If you haven't taken Shoney's social media class, you should, because he goes over a whole bunch of different AI tools that are available to you and that you can use in your real estate business. For marketing specifically, I use a lot of chat. I sometimes go to Claude, but mostly I use chat. So I'll show you what I did for like a whole year plan for me. Okay, so let's go there really quick. Hold on. I need to go to my actual chat GPT first. I cannot tell what is Google. That? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go to here. So I was just on here the other day. I did this last year and I loved how it worked for me. Okay, so I basically, okay, remember your output is only as good as your input, right? So I do have some, anyway, this is what I put in. Let's create a marketing plan for 2026 for Nielsen Property Group, starting with imagine the perfect client for my real estate business based out of Saratoga Springs, Utah, that provides real estate services for buyers and sellers in residential and commercial real estate. I specialize in helping sellers maximize their home sale through positioning their home in the best way possible, price and staging and marketing via social media, print, open houses, podcasts. Additionally, I tap into using empathy and shamanic house selling techniques like energy clearing and blessing the home. I help first-time home buyers as well as move-up buyers, mostly in Utah County, but I also expand to Salt Lake County. Occasionally, I help luxury clients up to $2 million. And we are tapping into the development of commercial real estate brokering in land, retail, and medical, particularly with smaller companies up to $10 million projects. We love helping the mom and pop type businesses achieve the American dream. My common objections for potential clients include concerns regarding the current market conditions, my commission, and for buyers, their mortgage payment. Interest rates are higher as well as home prices. Please describe this ideal customer in detail considering the following aspects. I put background, their personal history, education, experience, interests, hobbies, activities, passions, goals, what they strive to achieve in life or career, challenges or needs, pain points they face, demographics, lifestyle, desires, and their buying motivation, the reason that drive them to make the purchase, fears and false beliefs. Okay, so it came up with my customer avatar who I'm going to be marketing to. Okay, so this is the conscious achiever. It's crazy how it did this and how it relates to the people who I actually serve. So born and raised in Utah, recently relocated. They have a growing family. Many grew up in middle class or upper middle class families. They value stability, connection, community. They have a bachelor's degree or higher where they work in healthcare, tech, education, construction, entrepreneurship, or business. They have mid-management or leadership roles. Financial standings, they usually make between 120 and 250,000. They've built financial stability through steady work and decision, strategic, blah, blah. Luxury move-up buyer, tech, business owner, healthcare, first-time buyer, younger tech workers, commercial development client, blah. Their interest goes into all of this, okay? So then their demographics, they're age 28 to 55, which is so true. Most of my clients range between that. Let's see.
Psycho.
Yeah, it goes into all of it. Their lifestyle, their desires, their buying motivations, their fears, their common fears. What if I buy now and the market crashes? What if the rates never go back? Their false beliefs, the market is bad for selling, rates must be low. Okay, how do you overcome these fears? It has, what if I mistime the market? It has an answer for that. The rates are too high. We should rate. Wait, my home won't sell as is. Agents don't add value, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then it says, if it already prompted me, if you'd like, I can do blah, blah, blah. But I said, yes, I would. I want it to build me a 2026 marketing plan. Using the details about my ideal client and offers, help me outline a high-level one-year marketing plan. This plan should focus on overarching themes, key content strategies, messaging themes, and promotional highlights tailored to my audience. I'm a real estate sales agent in the Utah real estate industry, and I need content for Instagram, carousel, static, reels, bi-monthly podcast episodes, e-newsletter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. This is what I want in my annual plan, one-year marketing plan. I want 3 to 4 major themes for the year that align with my ideal clients' needs. They're quarterly focused. Break the year into 4 quarters, assigning a focus for each quarter. Content strategies. Outline 2 to 3 content strategies for the year. Messaging themes, an example. Provide messaging themes that resonate with my audience's current circumstances. Promotional highlights. All things. Calls to action. Keep the plan realistic and adaptable, allowing for adjustments based on audience feedback and market changes. Okay. So it popped up and it gave me an annual theme, 3 to 4. So theme 1, strategic selling in any market, conscious home buying and intentional living, wealth building through real estate, and community connection in Utah lifestyle are the 4 themes. Okay, so quarterly focus. January, quarter 1, we're going to talk about positioning and prepping and market confidence. In quarter 2, we're going to talk about move up buyer momentum and listing optimization. In quarter 3, investing, community, and commercial real estate growth. In quarter 4, reflect, refine, and holiday home traditions. Okay. Then it has key content strategies. Strategy 1, storytelling that humanizes you and your clients. Strategy 2, educational leadership and marketing clarity. 3, high value visual marketing and lifestyle branding. The messaging themes, these are seasonally timed. So winter, market confidence, fresh start energy, spring, home prep, move up season, summer, Utah lifestyle, wealth building, fall, market clarity, strategic timing, holiday season, gratitude and intentional living. Promotional highlights. We can do January, a new year, new market educational campaign. March and April, seller lead sprint. June, move up buyer push. August, September, CRE and development spotlight. November, list now, win later. December, gratitude and future planning. It has some different calls to actions for me. Additional. So then I said, okay, all this is great. As part of my social media strategy, I also want to integrate Amazon affiliate selling. Okay, I got into that. Then I said, I'm a real estate agent. Help me incorporate, let's see, using the details about my ideal client, help me craft a marketing plan for the month of January. Assign a theme, the whole thing. So it goes into my January marketing plan. I am set for January and February. That's as far as I went. So monthly theme for January is clarity, confidence, and a fresh start for your home and your life. I have weekly content framework. So week 1, we're going to do market orientation and a fresh start. Week 2, seller prep and staging magic. Week 3, buyer clarity and affordability. And week 4, building wealth building. Then they gave me 10 to 15 content ideas for January. A reel, 2026 Utah housing market. Carousel, 5 smart moves for Utah sellers. Amazon reel, home reset. Podcast reel, snippet from your January episode. Storytelling post, the energy of a fresh start. Facts, reel. LinkedIn post, YouTube short, testimonial post, evergreen reel. Evergreen content means it's like forever. Like it can withstand the test of time. Newsletter topic, behind the scenes, Pinterest board, blog post. Okay. Then it gives me some strategies for January, the first week, second week, calls to action tailored to the January content, a whole bunch of things I could use. Content mix. I want 30% educational, 25% storytelling, 20% staging design, 15% fun and seasonal, 10% direct promotion. Final notes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then I said, okay. Oh, it asked me, do you want to do this? And I was like, okay, let's do 1, 2, and then 4, and then 3. So I did a 4-week content calendar and it gave me exactly what to post on every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Week 2, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3, blah, blah, blah. And then it tells me how to cross-platform prompt it, like, because you can take what you post on Instagram and cross-post it on other platforms. It automatically cross-posts to Facebook. Then week 1, it gives me some reels ideas. Week 2, more reels. Optional evergreen reels, so I could use any day, anytime. Something that I have noticed with some Instagram influencers is they reuse the content over and over and over and over and over, just in a new way, right? And sometimes if you use a repeat, I've seen that. You know, like this one kid, he's this piano player and he like mixes in like piano, like classical music with hip hop. I mean, it's kind of fun. He's fun. But anyway, every single one of his posts is like a new clip of the same 8 measures, but it's like him doing it in a different way. Like, I don't know, something funny, whatever, but it's the same. Or he'll have a fun saying, I don't know. I'm just saying you can reuse your content over and over and over again. Like people will see it, but they have to see it like 3 or 4 or 5 times before it like imprints, right? And it's okay to just reuse it. Okay. Then it gives me a podcast episode and gave me 2 outlines. And then my newsletter, it gave me that. And yeah, I think I went all the way down to there. And then I asked it to help me with some email signatures and design stuff, which doesn't really apply right now, but oh, and then okay, keep going down, sorry. That's still my newsletter. Still my newsletter because I was asking for design help. Sorry. Then we bumped to February and I said, okay, now that we're at February, now let's look at February. And mostly the reason why I wanted to do February is because I wanted to have 2 months in advance that I can start prepping for, so that I can start doing, like if I'm going to be videoing things, I want to do it in batches, or like creating content like in batches so that I don't have to do it every single day. Like you could sit down and like really spend 1 full day if you wanted to. That's a lot though. But if you wanted to just have 2 hours today and tomorrow to sit down and plan out what you're going to do for January, like you can do that. And then you can say, okay, and now on this day, I'm going to record these reels. Boom, boom, boom. Get them all done. So they're all ready to go. You could say, okay, and I'm going to work in Canva on this day and I'm going to do all of my posts in Canva and have that all ready to go to post, right? So this is my marketing plan in general, but then I also have asked chat to help me with a launch plan for my listings, a launch marketing plan for my listings. So I'll have a set content strategy for January that I put in, but then if I have a listing or a new listing, then I will add that in as like an extra post. I'll weave that in as extra, depending on my listings and when they come. So does that make sense? So I'm posting the same content, well, not the same content, I'm posting the same formula or, what?
Template.
Yeah, thank you. I'm like, what is the word? I'm like, outline? No. Template every month with the same themes and the same whatever. And I have some evergreen content that I can slap in there. That would be your educational stuff that is going to apply anytime, anywhere, right? And then I'll put in my listings as extra. So that's what I do. Now, I've been doing it for a while. So but for you, okay, back it up. You can go into AI and start asking it to help you as a new agent and as a marketing expert, as Jack's the marketing expert, help me create an annual plan that can help boost my credibility, my visibility, and help me convert leads this year. And say, I only have the capacity to post so many days, whatever, help me create a plan. And it'll do that for you. And it's amazing, right? So it doesn't have to be so complex and so hard. Chat can do it for you. So that's my plan. All right, let's go back to, actually, I'll just stop sharing my screen for a minute. Let me see if I remembered everything. Oh, something I didn't say, going back for new agents, just like posting mechanics. You want to make sure you're posting like 3 to 5 times for the algorithm. Your face must appear a minimum of 2 posts a week. So you can add your face to whatever post. So like, on some of those pictures that on some of my slides, how my face was like you can do that. So or your reel that's you talking or whatever, that is where your face can be shown. What questions or what else did I miss? What questions do you have? Some homework for you is 1, figure out your brand identity. Write that sentence. Who do you help? Where do you specialize? What do you believe about real estate? And why someone would choose you? Because you can put that in. Remember how I did that in chat? Do that, okay? Second homework is your content pillars. Figure out what those are for you. 3 to 4 that fit your brand. So education, behind the scenes, local spotlights, listings just sold under contract, personal lifestyle, real estate process, client success stories, investing tips, something. So pick 3 to 5 that you want to focus on. And then you're going to create your weekly posting plan. So you could ask chat to help you with that. And then maybe consider doing, as after chat helps you create that plan, work on creating like your first week of content based off of what chat tells you to do. And then, let me see. Okay, one thing I will show you. So I go into chat all the time. So over here is like my NPG. See y'all. Okay. So I have an ideal customer profile, questions for listeners, holiday home price drops. So I'm asking chat to help me with, okay, I've got Instagram hooks for home buyers. Here are 10 Instagram hooks tailored for first-time home buyers in 2025. So it came up with some hooks. So I go through like when okay, I've got my plan, but now I need to like actually do the posts. And so I'll go back to chat and ask it to help me with whatever post I'm doing. And obviously you don't want chat to write everything for you. You want to keep your voice, keep your authenticity, but chat's there to help you improve upon that, right? Okay, let's see. Anyway, you can go in there and just ask it so many different things to help you. Okay. How'd we do? Awesome. I know I was kind of powering through and talking fast, sorry. But anyway,
I know I've seen you on Facebook, probably Connect Utah. It was interesting. I
Oh, yeah.
typed in Courtney into my search, and even though I have Facebook friends that I interact with named Courtney, you were still the first person.
Oh,
I
interesting.
think it's been suggesting you, and I like looked at your stuff the last week.
Yeah. So if you want to follow me, go ahead. Facebook, Courtney Marshall Nielsen, and then Instagram is real Courtney Nielsen. So, and then let's see.
I think I need to go into ChatGPT and change the tone to be more pessimistic. Right now, I get super excited even about my bad ideas. You are a genius. I'm like, no, that was just a bad idea.
Oh, I know that is a problem with chat.
It does have in the settings, it says, how do you want it to be more critical? Do you want it to be?
Yeah, yeah, you can. You can go in and adjust all of that. So thank you, no worries. Have a good one.
Straight up totally lied to me and almost got me in trouble this year.
And that is something you do have to fact check sometimes with chat.
It was teaching me about asset-based qualifying. The FHA can take money that you have that's liquid, divide it by a specific divisor and count that as income to purchase a property. But it wanted to convince me that they were gonna divide it by 36. When really it's like 360.
Yeah.
Some loans are 78.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, be
So
careful
my
on that.
buyer only needs like 150 grand and it'll qualify him for
Oh,
buy status of mortgage.
yeah, no. No.
Yes, I'm positive. Yeah.
Do you feel a little bit more confident in going forward? Good. I'm just checking to see if I missed anything in my notes here, but oh, something I would think about is for your growth and consistency, you really have to be consistent at it for at least 3 months before you're really going to start seeing results. So that we have this as humans, human nature, right? We have a tendency to try something for a week. And if we don't see results right away, we're like, oh, that's dumb. That's not working, right? That's not how it works. In farming, in real estate is the long game. So whatever you're doing, you think about the long game. I am here to just start making an impact right now, and it probably won't come back to me for several months, maybe even a year. And that's okay, right? I remember when social media, Instagram was kind of just starting, and my husband, well, it had started, but it was as for the marketing stuff, right? My husband's like, you got to get on and you got to just make calls. And I was like, and I do make calls and text people and whatever, but I was like, well, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on social media. And he was like, you're crazy. That's never gonna go anywhere. Okay. It is the number one place where most of our leads come from. And it's hard for me to track it because I don't really know how to track it in there, with like other than when somebody comments or says, oh, I saw you. But I know that my social media is giving me top of mind to my sphere. And those are the people that matter to me more than anything. Is it the people who know me, like me, trust me already, sees me. So I am not concerned about getting a bajillion followers. I am concerned about reaching the people who already know me. And if that's all I get, I mean, I am consistently getting new followers. Like I'll get, I don't know, probably 10 to 20 a month, which probably isn't that many, but that's okay. It's good for me because like the people who even comment, the people who message me, the people who comment on my stories, they're all the people who know me. They're my friends. And they're the ones who continue to call me and refer me business. So that's what matters more than anything. So don't get caught up into, I've got to have 15,000 people and I have to do crazy, stupid things to get people to like me. No, you do not have to do that. Be authentically you. I think that's the most important key.
If I'm crazy and stupid.
Then that's okay. Be crazy and stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you know how people like do things just to like get a like or get a hit? And that to me does not align. Doesn't, I don't know, for me. But if it works for you, great.
How do you get people to subscribe to your e-newsletter, or how do you have that conversation?
So when I started it, I have had done certain like prompts to like put your email in so I can um send it to you, like, but most of the time, most of like the people, my friends who, my newsletter is not just like everyone, it's mostly people who've bought with me. So if they've bought with me, I have like a thing at the bottom of my newsletter that has like an opt out, but it's like if you are signed up because you have purchased something from me or purchased a home with me, right? So then they're like automatically put into that database. And I don't really have anybody opt out very often. If it's somebody who opts out, it's maybe somebody who's new to my sphere and they're just like, whatever. But it doesn't happen very
Get
often.
their email.
Yeah. Yeah, emails during open houses. If you could even like even you don't have to call people, but you could even just send a text to your friends and family and just be like, hey, I'm starting up this. I have I don't know, think of or ask chat to help you come up with a text to ask your friends and family if you can add them to your newsletter. Most people are like, sure, especially if it's not like inundating their email box. I think if they're getting something like daily or multiple times a day, they're like, get me off this. But if it's like once a month or twice a month, they like to hear from you. You will be surprised that your friends and family actually want to hear from you. They like to know what you're up to. They like to know things. And you can ask chat to help you say, I want to provide, like, what is the purpose of your newsletter? What do you want it to, what do you want from it? Like for me, I like to kind of talk about the market a little bit, tell a story of something that happened recently in real estate, something that would just be interesting and engaging for somebody. It's very me. I'm writing to my friends and family, it's not it's not a very salesy email. It's more emotional and personal with a little bit of real estate.
It's so interesting with social media. Some posts will attract others and not, and you just never know with each post and what things that you put on there, who reacts, and it will be surprising
Yeah.
to who is attracted and who reacts to it.
So true. So for me, I know there are some there's that philosophy out there that there's two philosophies. One, you can be Switzerland and put out information that is, not going to offend people or whatever. Or some people who are influencers go for the shock factor and they want to put out information that is going to get a positive or negative response because that creates more engagement. For me, I'm Switzerland. I don't want to alienate anybody in my sphere. And so I don't I'm not gonna keep things totally to myself. Like I'm gonna, use my voice and when I feel like it's appropriate and needs to be. But for the most part, I'm very conscious of what I put out and want to make sure that I'm not gonna offend anybody. My whole life and mission is all to love and share love and unity and bring people together. And so hopefully people feel that and see that when I'm putting out information. So I don't like to cause division. But there are some people out there in this world who love that. They really get a high off that, and they get a lot of followers. And good for them. But to what end, Anyway, so yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. You guys are awesome. You're going to do great. Tell me how long you've been in real estate for. You've been in for a little while, right?
3 weeks.
Oh, what? You're a newbie.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you. 2 months? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to leave this.